As always, we are bringing you the top headlines from the week. There's been a lot going on, so let's get started. On Wednesday, the Supreme Court struck down a Louisiana congressional map that had created a second majority Black district in the state. In a 6-3 decision, the court dealt a devastating blow to the Voting Rights Act, making it significantly harder to prove racial discrimination in voting, and potentially opening the door for more states across the country to redraw their own maps ahead of the midterms. Following the ruling, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, a Republican, issued an executive order delaying the state's House primary election to allow time to redraw the maps. New video has emerged from Saturday's White House Correspondents Dinner, showing suspect Cole Allen shoot a Secret Service officer before running through a security checkpoint armed with a shotgun. U.S. Attorney General Jeanine Pirro, who released the footage on Thursday, said it also shows Allen walking the hotel before the attack. The officer, who was wearing a bulletproof vest, survived. Allen faces 3 federal charges: attempting to assassinate the president, discharging a firearm during an act of violence, and transporting firearms across state lines. He could face life in prison if convicted. The State Department announced it will begin rolling out limited edition U.S. passports this summer, featuring an image of Trump on the inside cover, along with his signature in gold. The latest in a series of efforts to plaster the president's name and likeness across federal institutions. Trump would be the first living president to appear in the travel document. The passports will be the default option at the Washington Passport Agency while supplies last, and standard passports will remain available online and at other locations. Maine Governor Janet Mills dropped out of the U.S. Senate race on Thursday, citing a lack of financial resources and clearing the way for political newcomer Graham Plattner in the Democratic primary. Plattner, who still faces a June 9th primary against David Costello, hopes to unseat 5-term Republican Susan Collins in November. Mills, a 2-term governor who also served as the state's attorney general, had been recruited by Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer as Democrats' best shot for flipping the seat. She has not endorsed Plattner. King Charles III and Queen Camilla wrapped up their 4-day state visit to the U.S. on Thursday, ending a multi-city tour that took them from Washington to New York City to Virginia. The visit came amid rising tensions between the U.S. and UK over the war in Iran, but was largely amicable. King Charles spoke of an unbreakable bond between the two nations in a speech delivered to Congress, but also made it a point to champion NATO and support for Ukraine, a direct challenge to Trump, who has been openly critical of both. After 76 days, the longest agency shutdown in U.S. history, Trump signed a bipartisan bill Thursday to fund most of DHS, excluding immigration enforcement operations. The shutdown had left TSA agents, Coast Guard personnel, and FEMA workers facing missed paychecks and potential furloughs. ICE and Border Patrol became the center of the fight after federal agents fatally shot 2 American citizens during immigration raids in Minneapolis. They will be funded separately through budget reconciliation, a process Republicans are pushing to finish by June 1st. Trump has pulled his embattled Surgeon General nominee, Dr. Casey Means, his 3rd nominee for the role, following questions about her credentials and vaccine views. Means did not finish her surgical residency and does not hold an active medical license. In an interview, she blamed a year-long smear campaign. Trump, for his part, pointed the finger at Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, chair of the Senate Health Committee, who grilled Means on vaccines during her confirmation hearing. Trump's new pick is Dr. Nicole Saphier, a radiologist and former Fox News contributor, who herself has questioned whether all children need the hepatitis B vaccine at birth. Despite historic representation in the number of Black Republicans serving in Congress, all 4 Black House members, Representatives Byron Donalds of Florida, John James of Michigan, Wesley Hunt of Texas, and Burgess Owens of Utah, will leave by the end of the current session in January 2027. U.S. Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina will return to being the only Black Republican on Capitol Hill. When asked about the exodus, Hunt was dismissive, saying, "I don't care how many Black people are here. I want the most qualified people that are here." And finally, some good news. The Black Bestsellers List has found a new home. On Friday, theGrio announced a new partnership with the Black Bestsellers List to highlight and celebrate books by Black authors and connect readers with stories shaping Black culture. The list, which tracks real sales data across thousands of retailers, was created in part because Black authors were selling books without showing up on traditional bestsellers lists. Beginning this month, theGrio will publish the monthly list across 8 categories alongside author profiles, interviews, and reading guides. Happy reading. That is all, or should I say enough for this week. As always, thank you for joining us, and until next time, take care of yourself.